Good morning. Today is Friday. It is snowing. You have officially been with me through all seasons now. We started in the spring, then we did summer, fall, and now it is officially winter. Well, it'll be winter on the 21st, but we're close enough. But it's snowing today. I don't feel that cold. I'm all bundled up in my nice coat, and I actually feel pretty comfortable, but I'm excited. I don't think there's going to be much snow. I think we're supposed to get less than an inch today. But just seeing it come down is pretty exciting. So before we get started, please like and subscribe. Please share my channel. Please comment whether you agree with me or not. I am here to share with you. I'm here to grow and learn with you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. So I really, really do appreciate you being here. And I know that there are a lot of YouTubers that they say that when you share the channel, it helps the algorithms. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I do want to get this out there. So I do know that subscribing really helps, and I believe that sharing a video will help get it out there as well. So thank you so much. So today I'm going to talk about something that this is not going to be a political video. I'm done with talking about politics, but I know that it can have a little bit of political notes to it, but that's not what it's about. I do want to bring up the subject of the shooting of the CEO from United Healthcare and Luigi Mangione. I know there are a lot of people already talking about it. It's just been flooded. Social media has been flooded. YouTube's been flooded with everybody and their opinions. But I just kind of want to give a little bit of a different angle toward Luigi himself. And this is just my own personal theory. I don't want this to come across as I think this happened. I think this is why it happened. I'm not in his head. I don't know him. I don't know him personally. Don't know anything about him other than what I've seen in the news like everybody else. But I have seen some things about him that I couldn't pass up talking about because I can relate to them. The first thing that I wanted to share is that right away they said that he had a back surgery, a pretty major back surgery, and he was in chronic pain. He was in a lot of pain. I can relate to that 100%. I have lower back pain. I have discs. I had an ablation on the nerves. It didn't really help. I have numbness in my legs and lower back troubles, back pain, or any kind of pain, but back pain can cause a lot, and I mean a lot of problems. Those things are sometimes obvious to other people, like sometimes people end up in a wheelchair or using a cane, or people can see that they have pain and disability, and other times that pain and disability is not visible. So they end up with invisible disabilities, which is, in my opinion, worse than visible disabilities, for the simple fact that invisible disabilities, you hurt just as much, if not more, and people expect you to live your life and act and behave as if you're fine. There's an expectation of society that says, oh, you look great, you look fine, you should be able to do this. You're like, some people work in a warehouse or something, or they work at a job, and people might look at them and say, you look able-bodied, lift this box. But they might not be able to physically lift that box without excruciating pain. And to try to describe to people over and over and over again how you're in pain, and I do have limitations, and no, I'm not able to do this or that, or no, this really doesn't sit well with me, or that's going to make me suffer more pain. You can try to describe that to people. You can try to share it with them. But, some people are empathetic, but most of the time, for the most part, society is not always very empathetic. if it hasn't happened to them, and if they're not feeling your body from inside you, they're not going to understand. And if they don't understand it, they're probably not going to empathize. And a lot of times people will say things like, oh, just get up and do it, or oh, you're just faking, or oh, you're just trying to get out of work. I mean, there's so many different things that happen to people that are in pain, suffering pain silently. And I do believe, from what I've seen, that might be one of the things that has happened to him. The spinal damage also caused some other dysfunctions in his life. He was a very young guy. He was 26 years old, or what is. He still is. He's alive, but he's 26 years old, very young. And spinal damage can cause a lot of different dysfunctions, and dysfunctions that are not pleasant, dysfunctions that can really put a wrecking ball to your life. So you have that. And then just recently I read, he somehow wrote something, I guess they found writings that he did, but there were mental, emotional, psychological things going on. He was having brain fog, and he was having a lot of anxiety, and it was causing depression, and it was the chronic pain and the disability and all of the way that it completely destroyed his life, or the quality of his life. To have the quality of your life destroyed, for me it was in my late 40s, but to have that destroyed when you're in your 20s, you've got your whole life ahead of you, and you know that you're not going to be able to live it in a way that is acceptable or even doable. I mean, I was 47, 48, somewhere in that area. I don't even remember. It was 11 years ago, 47, when my whole thing happened with the spinal damage and everything going haywire in the bottom half of my body, causing disability. And it was bad enough. I mean, I had already lived 47 years of my life and had children and raised my children. I had relationships, and I had plenty of normalcy in my life to where I could say that I lived a life that I was able to enjoy those things, at least, for that period of time. But I looked at that, here I turned 50 years old and looked at the rest of my life and thought, well, the second half of my life isn't going to be the same. I'm not going to have those things. I'm not going to have the same types of relationships. I'm not going to have the same abilities. I'm going to be limited to how what jobs I can do and how I fit into society and what I'm able to do. People are going to look at me differently. People might criticize, insult me. And you know what? Yes, 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 and yes. I wasn't just saying those things or thinking those things like I was being doomsday or like I was coming up with all the worst case scenario. Let me just assure you that I actually had a really positive attitude, and I looked at the bright side of everything. But looking back 11 years of having this chronic pain, yes, yes, and yes, all of those things happen plus more. Let me just say that this world can be hell sometimes for people, but throw in a disability in there and some serious pain, and this world becomes a worse hell. And if somebody had given me a projector and showed me what my next 10 years would look like with having to live with this, I probably would have taken myself out right then and there. Like, I would have said, no, I'm not signing up for this. There's no way I can get through that. I will not. I'm not going to suffer those things. Nope. Why would I do that? I'm not moving forward. If I had been given the choice, told what my life was going to look like, I would not have chosen to move forward with it. Now, that's to say, I was never in the mindset that I wanted to take myself out. Trust me when I say that I couldn't have cared less. And with this chronic pain, living with chronic pain, I'm going to be 100% honest. I really don't care. I mean, I used to say that somebody told me one time, I was walking along the street and somebody said, oh, you got to be careful because, there are some bad people out there, and have at it. I used to say some serial killer wants to come along and, snag me up and take me out. I'm not going to stop them. I mean, I'm not going to do it myself, but hey, I took chances. I didn't go bungee jumping or jumping out of airplanes, but I rode some pretty wild roller coasters. I did some things, and I was a lot a lot more of a risk taker. I took somebody's jet ski out in the middle of the ocean one time. Like I swam with sharks. Like I didn't and don't put so much emphasis on I have to stay here in this life. Like it's so important for me to stay here that I'm going to just hang on to this life with everything I have in me. No, I take chances. I take risks. I do things. I live life. I don't worry about it. And do I want to meet up with, some nefarious person? And no, I mean, that wouldn't be pleasant. Or do I want to meet up with some horrible fate, like falling off a building? Or no, I don't want those things. I'm not looking for it. But I can understand the mindset of somebody in chronic pain who just would simply give up on life and look at this life like, what's the point? Like, what even is the point? If he was in that mindset, and this is a big if, I don't know if he was or not, but if Luigi was in that mindset where I'm in so much pain I can't even enjoy myself, I don't have a quality of life, I'm probably not going to ever have a girlfriend, a wife, kids, I'm not going to be able to live a normal life like everybody else. Now, you can say, okay, boo-hoo for you, because there are people that are worse off. Yes, that's true. There are people that are worse off. There are quadriplegics out there. There are paraplegics. There are people who have never been able to walk or use their limbs. There are a lot of people who have gotten through this life with disabilities. Like I think of Joni Eareckson Tada. She turned her life into an absolute joy and was able to live a quality life. She was married and she had all the joys of life despite her disability. So, yes, you can turn it around. So it really depends on that mindset. Do you look at the dark side of it? Do you look at the brighter side of it? I've always been the kind of person to look at the brighter side of things. And also, especially with this latest mindset thing that I'm learning, that I really can turn my life around right here where it is. I don't have to succumb to everything the world throws at me and just be a victim of what the world throws at me. But Luigi was young and he may not have discovered that. He may not have realized that. He may have just thought, look, I don't care about my life, but if I go out, I want to go out in a big way. I want to go out doing something for humanity. I want to go out doing something that'll make a difference. And he may have done a lot of research and decided that, doing something that was going to grab the attention of the people toward the injustices of the healthcare system, maybe that was his way of saying, on my way out, I'm going to see if I can help society in some way. I'm not trying to say he's a hero for offing someone. I know, we all say on our videos that murder is wrong. Don't do it. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. We all say that. And yes, we say it like it's like a song, because people did not have empathy for the CEO that was killed. And people didn't have empathy for him in the same way that they didn't have much empathy for Osama bin Laden or Saddam Hussein or, somebody like Hitler. People don't have empathy for people who commit mass murder. And it is believed, and again, alleged, believed, and according to records and statistics and, from what it looks like, from what it appears, that the CEO of United Healthcare was responsible for the deaths of many, 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 many people. And if not the deaths, at least the suffering. I think both. I think he was responsible for the death and the suffering of a lot of people who were denied healthcare claims. And so if Luigi felt that this was his way of doing something for humanity before he goes out, and then he was just like, okay, catch me with my backpack and my manifesto and all my stuff, catch me, send me to the death chamber, whatever you want to do, my life is over anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't know, it almost seems like he might have been in that mindset where he just wanted to help humanity and then not really care what happened to him afterwards. So it would be sad if that were the case. However, maybe he felt that he would be able to get enough medications in prison that he wasn't able to get on the outside. And that is unfortunately, very true. We don't have healthcare that will provide us with medications as we live and work in our jobs. But if you go on the inside, you'll get plenty, which screwed up. Yeah, it's screwed up. It's a screwed up system. But if you need to self-medicate in there, you can self-medicate all day long. And he's got the means, he's got the money to do it. I mean, it's not just inmates that bring stuff in. Contraband doesn't come in from the inmates most of the time. So I'll leave it at that. But maybe he just feels that he'll get the treatment that he needs, one way or another. You know, you just don't know what's in the mind of somebody. And again, I'm speculating. I don't know this. And I'm not even basing this on any facts that I've seen or read. I'm just speculating based on a few things that I saw. But you just never know. You just don't know. I almost feel that anybody with chronic pain and in that mindset, that brain fog, that not being able to think, that needing medications but still having to function in life, being expected to function in life and not being able to every day, and, you know, walking through this life, sometimes you feel better and sometimes you feel like you're in complete pain, but you got to walk anyway. And I understand that. I really do. I understand that. And I think there are a lot of people in this country who understand that. And I think that's why he's getting the empathy. And the person who created all the pain for so many people, you know, the CEO of United Healthcare, who got wealthy and made sure that all of his, you know, investors were wealthy based on the pain of other people. I think it's the people who are in pain who are the ones that are speaking out now and basically saying, yeah, I get you, Luigi. And I think maybe that's what he wanted. So I just thought I'd put that out there. That's my Luigi video. I know I've done, you know, I don't usually do videos on the current events and on things that are going on, but since this related to chronic pain and a lot of the mindset and a lot of the things that we all go through, I just wanted to put that out there. If there is anybody out there who suffers chronic pain or has an opinion on this one way or another, please feel free to share your comments. I really do appreciate you. So that's it. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next time.